what it is and what it ain't, my fam. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. My name is Buddy Steele, and this is Plug Talk. So, happy Monday to you all. It is just another manic Monday. I might get copyrighted for just saying that, but it is worth saying. It might be Monday, but we are happy. We are healthy. We have a lot of stuff to be thankful for. And today I'm going to be updating you guys on the latest happenings around the NFL. The NFL offseason of 2020. There was a lot at stake, and I will break it down for you all. On just a side note, guys, I'm also thinking about getting rid of the old stash. I feel like it's kind of turning on me, so if you guys have any feedback or suggestions on what I should do, please let me know and reach out to me. All right, guys, back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, folks, it is time to plug in. Let's get after it. So, we've been in the NFL offseason for a few weeks now, but things have not died down at all. There are quite a few big topics in the headlines that are grabbing our attention. The main one being the new collective bargaining agreement, the new CBA that the NFL owners and the NFL Players Association are trying to hammer out and agree upon. So the current CBA was signed and agreed upon in 2010. It is set to expire next March in 2021. So fortunately, they've been pretty proactive and have been trying to agree upon terms early, so we don't see them, coming to a stalemate next March and having a potential strike and lockout like we had in 2010. But we've been hitting a couple roadblocks here that have prevented them from making an agreement this offseason. The biggest one being the change in the amount of games in the regular season. So we've had a 16-game regular season for decades now. The owners and the NFL front offices want to push that to 17 games. Really just for money. I don't see any other benefit other than it being about money and monetizing players and having more leverage when they're going to, talk with the TV networks to negotiate the new TV deals, because those are also set to expire here within the next couple of years. There are quite a few players, mostly really the ones that are making the top tier money, the big contract dogs, Richard Sherman, Russell Okung, all of the guys that are on the executive committee for the Players Association, they do not agree with it because they see it as just being another game they're going to have to play, another risk for injury. They don't really need that extra one-game check. Whereas all the rest of the players, most of the players in the NFL are on a minimum contract, whether it's a minimum rookie contract or a veteran minimum salary. They obviously, if their careers aren't guaranteed, they don't know how many years they're going to play. So if they're talking about another $90,000, $125,000 for them and their families, they're probably going to take it because it's, just one more game, not that much more risk. I don't like it because it messes with everything. We have a nice kind of 5-month NFL season as it is. We have kind of 4 quarters of regular season football with it being 16 games. And it kind of messes up all the regular season records that we have. We already have to kind of compare the 14-game regular season back in the 70s and prior to the 16-game now. That gives you headaches, and it would just be an additional headache as well. I do not agree with it. If they come to an agreement to do this 17-game season, they're probably going to have to eliminate the preseason, or maybe make it just 1 preseason game instead of 4. That's really what the biggest issue is right now with the CBA negotiations. The other one being obviously player revenue. So right now the players are making 47% of all of the NFL revenue coming in. That is lower compared to all of the other major sports leagues. It's looking like right now what's on the negotiation table is that it'll bump up from 47 to 48%. And if they go up to a 17-game regular season, which cannot start until the 2021 season, it wouldn't be this coming season where that would go into effect. If they did do a 17-game regular season, they would not make 48%, they would make 48.5%, which per year would give the players collectively around $230 million collectively. And that's a projected number, to be dispersed among the players. That's another one. Obviously, other smaller, negotiation points that are going on as well is minimum player salaries, different, like the drug program and how they're disciplining people for marijuana, that kind of stuff. As well as like all the medical benefits and protecting players after they retire as well. Obviously, the NFL owners have a lot of incentive on wanting to get the deal done this year because they're going to have to go and talk to all of the TV networks to get a deal done, and it would help if they had concrete and knew a structure of how many games they're going to have and what that looks like for the next decade. They have a lot of money coming into them potentially with these new TV contracts, as well as all of this revenue that they're set to make from the sports e-gambling about to, go into effect as well. So they really, really have a lot of incentive on getting the deal done now. I don't see the deal happening this year. They might have to, just kind of table it and then revisit it next spring. I don't see a lockout or strike happening potentially, just because it always comes down to the players not budgeting well and needing those game checks. And so they really can't afford to be missing games and not making money. And that is a huge leverage point for the owners. I don't see the lockout happening or a strike. It's really just a matter of when they're going to get this deal done. So also this week in NFL news is the Combine. That started on Sunday. That's going to run through Monday, March 2nd. So that's where all of the top-ranked college players will go to Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium, and they will show off their athleticism in spandex for all of the NFL scouts and GMs. I love the Combine. I always have. I've always watched it. I love seeing the guys do the drills and, show off their athleticism. I'm all about the workouts. I've always loved that. I do take it with a grain of salt because we all know those players that are not athletic at all. They're not fast, but somehow they're just gamers and they ball out. So it's not a true congruent transition, but I do love watching it as well. This is the first year that they're going to be showing it in prime time, so in the afternoon. And of course they're doing that because it's just more potential money for the league. Since I haven't really done an NFL update in quite a while, obviously we have a little bit of news to cover. So Greg Olsen signing with the Seahawks. I think that is a pretty good move by Seattle. So obviously Greg Olsen is 35 years old. He's had a lot of injury history these last few years, mainly with his foot, man. He's broken it. He's re-aggravated it. Then he refractured it in 2018. Then he had, plantar fascia with the foot. Luckily in 2019, though, Greg Olsen only missed 2 games and it was for concussion. So it wasn't related to actual bodily injury with that foot. Really, I think if it's Greg Olsen that we're seeing on film that I've watched, I think Greg Olsen is going to be a perfect fit. The guy is a really, really good route runner. He is so savvy in the coverages and he knows how to find grass and get open. He has stellar hands, man. He always seems to catch the ball. I like the dude. He's smart. He's great in the run game, and he's terrific in play action. Greg Olsen is surprisingly fast for a big white dude, man. He was outrunning a lot of DBs that I saw in film. Hopefully, after healing from the foot, hopefully he's just as athletic and youthful as he was in 2017 and prior. Hopefully for the Seahawks' sake. I think overall this is going to be a good move. Greg Olsen and Disick, their other tight end, I think that can make a pretty lethal combo, so we'll have to see, but good move for Greg Olsen, perfect fit for him, good move potentially for Seattle as well. Now, obviously, we have all of this free agent talk. We have the Combine coming up, and it's all really leading up to the draft and what's going to happen with the NFL draft. The biggest talk is obviously Joe Burrow, Mr. Ohio out of LSU, won the Heisman, won the national championship. The guy had maybe the best collegiate season a quarterback has ever had. The dude was lights out and electric. There had been speculation that he might not play if Cincinnati drafts him at number 1 overall. He's from Ohio, so it only makes sense that he go and play for the Bengals, who are picking number 1 overall, and try to resurrect this franchise, just like LeBron did. It makes total sense. We haven't heard Joe Burrow come out directly and say, yes, I want to be the savior for this team. I want to bring them back to relevancy and lead them to a Super Bowl. He hasn't said that directly. So really, what it's telling me, it's more about what he's not saying. It looks a lot like he doesn't want to play for the Bengals just because of how bad that franchise has been run in the past. Bad front office, bad ownership. You know, they're stingy with their money with free agents. You know, I would not blame Burrow for wanting to sit out if the Bengals draft him. You know, pulling an Eli Manning and pulling a John Elway. I typically have not been a fan of players doing that, but players have so much leverage now, especially a guy like Joe Burrow. Either way, he's going to be fine even if he has to sit out for a year. And really going to Cincinnati, going to teams like that are perennially horrible, that really can ruin your career. Carson Palmer, Andy Dalton, Matthew Stafford of Detroit, these are guys that really have legitimately proven that they can play NFL quality football at quarterback. But they haven't been able to win in the postseason because of these franchises. The problems that these franchises have are much bigger than these quarterbacks can overcome, truly. And that might be what even Baker Mayfield is going to find out in Cleveland as well. So we will have to wait and see on the Joe Burrow front. Also, Tua Tagovailoa, the extremely athletic and accurate quarterback Alabama, he is probably the second best quarterback in this draft, at least as far as like the mock grades go. He has been speculated by NFL sources as him and his family not wanting to play for Detroit if he gets drafted by the Lions. For the same reason, really. They don't like the coaching staff with Matt Patricia. They don't trust the Ford ownership group either. This could be a mess, man. This could be a real mess for these quarterbacks, but they might have the leverage to be able to do so. We shall see. And obviously, the big elephant in the room is Tom Brady. What's going to happen with Tom Brady? We probably won't get any concrete answers as to what's going on with Brady until the new league year starts in mid-March. It looks like until then, nothing's going to happen. Then Brady is going to probably go out and hear offers from other teams. Then he may end up back with New England. He may not. We really don't know now, man. There's a lot of speculation out there. There's a lot of talk going on, and you really can't trust it this time of the year. A lot of teams are blowing smoke to try to position themselves in free agency and in the draft. You never know if what you're hearing is the truth. I've heard that New England is done with Brady. I've heard that they're willing to pay him $30 million a year. I've heard that Tom Brady wants, a 2-year commitment from the team. I've heard that the Titans and the Raiders are the leading teams to sign him. I've heard just about everything. Who knows what the truth is right now? I still bet that Brady is going to end up with the Patriots. I truly believe that Belichick feels that Brady is still his best chance to win a Super Bowl out of all the available quarterbacks out there. And the fact that Josh McDaniels, their offensive coordinator, is returning for the 2020 season is a big key in this discussion. I think they're probably just going to end up adding talent around him. Obviously, the names that we keep hearing are, Hunter Henry, the free agent tight end from the Los Angeles Chargers, AJ Green, the free agent receiver from the Bengals, and then we're also hearing about Stephon Diggs, the receiver from the Vikings as well. We shall see. I hope Brady obviously ends back up with New England, but your guess right now is as good as mine. All right, folks, so that is your NFL update for the week of February 23rd. My name is Buddy Steele. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Please like this video if you are enjoying the content, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, until then, folks, it is time to plug out. I'm going to catch you all on Wednesday. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Good things happen for you, and good things happen for others as well. I love you guys. Deuces!